I have to find a way to get Zach to kill her since I don't want Ryder to trace things back to me. He's going to be so happy to find out that I'm actually alive. He won't even care about the fact that his mate was killed. Everything is going to be perfect. I know he'll be confused for a little bit, but I already have a made-up story to explain the reason why I've been missing for all this time. My plan has been going great. The only problem is that dimwit Zach. I honestly think that he's trying to get all of us killed. If I had known that he was going to be this stupid, I would have never agreed to help him. I would have found another way to get the job done. I can't believe that Zach left a note taunting Ryder. He's honestly so stupid. We were supposed to go in and then leave. I get that he wanted to gloat and stuff, but now's not the time. Now he's put my life in danger, and he's compromised my plan. I look up and see that it's pitch black out here. I should probably head back and see how everyone's doing. On my way back, my beta mind links me. Alpha, I've met with him. We're still on schedule. I smirk slightly. Good. We'll proceed with the plan soon. Keep me updated if anything new happens. Yes, Alpha. Elizabeth's POV. Where am I? I can't remember anything. The last thing I remember is going to sleep in Ryder's arms. I don't know how I ended up in this cold, dusty room. I look around me and try to find a way to get out of here. I stand up even though my legs feel like jello and I wander around the room. The walls are a faded yellow color and I can see mold forming on some of them. The room is completely sealed off and the only way out is through the door, but I can hear someone's heartbeat outside of the door, so I don't think that's my best escape route. I look around the room hoping to find a window or a vent, but there's nothing. I stand up from the floor and look around. Why can't I remember anything? Where's Ryder? I have so many questions, but my head feels so heavy. I hear the door open and I quickly turn around. I see Zach and I feel my heart drop to my stomach. Oh no. Please tell me that I'm dreaming. This can't be real. There has to be some mistake. I see you're awake. Are you hungry? I decide not to respond to him. Instead, I look at the floor as I shuffle on my feet. Zach would always get angry if I looked directly at him. Are you going to answer me? I stay silent and hope that he leaves. I hear a few groans that the floorboards let out before I feel a sharp stinging on my cheek. I fall to the ground and before I can react, I feel a sharp kick to my ribs. I groan quietly and try to curl up in a ball. Next thing I know, I'm being lifted from the ground by my throat. Zach squeezes my throat and I choke slightly. I asked you a question. When I ask you a question, you answer it. Got it? Zach growls while getting in my face. I can barely breathe and my vision starts to become fuzzy. I thrash around violently trying to get free from his grasp, but he just squeezes my throat tighter. My limbs grow weaker, but I still try to fight. Before I lose consciousness, I'm dropped to the floor. I gasp for breath, which in turn hurts because of the bruises forming on my neck. I cough up some blood, and Zach just scoffs before leaving the room. Absolutely pathetic, he mumbles as the door closes. I lay on the ground, coughing up blood for a few minutes. After a little while, I crawl to the corner of the room before wrapping my arms around my knees. I rock back and forth with tears streaming down my face. I try to think of how to get out of here, but I conclude that there's no way I could ever escape. I'm all alone with no way to contact anyone. Wait a minute, maybe I can use the mind link. Ryder? All I hear is silence. I frown slightly before trying again. When I get the same result, I start to panic. Okay, deep breaths, Liz. Maybe it's because I'm too far away from the pack. I don't know how long I've been knocked out, so we couldn't have gotten that far away from the pack. Maybe I should try reaching out to Annabelle now. She always knows what to do. Annabelle? I try to reach out to my wolf, but I can't hear anything. I can't even feel her. This is bad. This is really bad. The tears start pouring out of my eyes even faster, and I choke down my sobs. I don't want to give Zach another reason to come back in here. I stare at the wall opposite me, feeling completely helpless. There's nothing I can do. This is the end for me. I hear the door open up again, but I don't get up from my spot. I use my hair as a sort of protection from the person, but I know that won't do much. I don't get what everyone sees in you. My head snaps up at the unfamiliar voice. My eyes widen when I see that it's Ryder's uncle. My heartbeat increases and I see him smirk. I'm sure he's glad that I'm afraid of him. What do you want from me? I ask in a small voice. Me? I don't want anything to do with you. In fact, if I had things my way, you wouldn't even be alive anymore. I gulp loudly and then wince at the pain in my throat. Who are you? I ask. Hopefully he doesn't realize that I already know who he is. A small smirk makes its way across his face, and I can feel my heartbeat thundering against my ribcage. I'm your worst nightmare. The smirk on his face widens, and I shiver slightly. He's about to say something when a man steps in the room. Alpha, he says before bowing. Alpha? What's going on? He has a pack? The man gestures towards outside, and Patrick nods his head. I'll be back for you later. Don't try anything because you will be punished. The evil glint in his eyes makes my bottom lip quiver, and I can feel more tears spilling out of my eyes. He smirks, obviously satisfied by my reaction before leaving the room with the man. What am I going to do? Elizabeth's POV. It's been a while since Zach and Patrick kidnapped me. I'm not sure how much time has passed exactly, but I can feel myself growing weaker and weaker. I still haven't been able to feel Annabelle, so I haven't been able to contact anyone. Every hour someone comes to check up on me. Every hour's food is brought to me. I ignore the people when they check up on me and refuse to answer any of their questions. Some of the men get really angry when I do that, so I've gotten a few hits here and there. I don't make a sound because I don't want them to have the satisfaction. I don't eat the food because I know that it's probably poisoned. I don't know why I can't feel Annabelle, but I feel like if I eat some of the food, things will get worse. Every minute that I'm away from Ryder brings me pain. My heart beats dully in my chest. I don't have the will to live or do anything. These feelings would be so much worse if Ryder and I had mated. At least this way, when I die, he won't feel as much pain. I'm brought out of my sad thoughts by the creaking of the door as it opens. I hear the door close, and my heartbeat increases. This room is soundproof, and some of the guys have been threatening to do some things to me if I don't start cooperating. I shudder and wrap my arms around my knees. Are you hungry, miss? Oh, it's only him. I prefer when he comes to check on me or when he brings me food since he is the kindest one. It's hard to believe that he's part of this mess since he seems so nice. Maybe it's not by choice. When I continue to stare at the wall, he lets out a sigh. I'm worried about you. You really need to eat. I still don't answer, and I can see he's starting to get a little frustrated. What would your mate think if he was here? You can't stay like this. You need to fight for your mate and your pack. Please don't give up. Something inside of me stirs and I blink a few times. He's right. I can't just give up. I have a mate and a pack that's out there probably worried out of their minds, and here I am acting like a baby. I've always been weak, and I've never stood up for myself. That needs to change. I will not go down without a fight. I look up and glance at the man for the first time. He has short black hair, brown eyes, and a splash of freckles across his nose. His eyes are kind, even though his face looks kind of scary. He's pretty muscular, and I have no doubt that he could kill me in an instant. Why are you helping me? Why do you even care? I'm honestly curious as to why he's doing this. He's basically putting his life in danger for me, the enemy. Because you're innocent, and I'm tired of seeing innocent people hurt. I'm tired of this life. I want out. He looks like he's remembering a painful memory. I raise an eyebrow, but he just shakes his head. I guess that's a story for another time. Who are you? I can't really say anything right now. Just know that I'm on your side. The honest look in his eyes allows me to relax a little. I nod my head slightly, and he gives me a brief smile. Is the food poisoned? The food that people have been bringing me? I need to know if my suspicions were correct. It usually is. Zach has separate food prepared for you that has been drugged. This is some of the fresh food that I was able to get from the kitchen. If anyone else offers you food, don't take it. I nod and slowly take the plate of food from him that I hadn't noticed before. I slowly pick up a piece of bread and rip little pieces off before shoving some in my mouth. My stomach rumbles, and I'm reminded how hungry I actually am. I continue to eat the food slowly, trying to make sure I don't upset my stomach even more. Why can't I feel my wolf? I'm not really sure. I think Patrick has some special plant or something that can block your connection with your wolf. I'm not really sure what it is or how it works. I put the piece of bread I had in my hands back onto the plate. There's a plant that can stop you from feeling your wolf. How does Patrick know about this? I feel my stomach churn and my heartbeat increase. If I can't use my wolf, how am I going to be able to escape or fight back? Things just got a whole lot more complicated. What am I supposed to do? My voice is barely above a whisper, and I'm sure it reflected how scared I feel. I don't know what it is, but I can't help but trust this guy. You'll find help in an unlikely person. Keep your eyes open. Maybe he's the person that's supposed to help us. I mean, he is an unlikely option since he's here with Patrick and Zach. At this point, I need an ally, and he's been the nicest person to me, so I'm going to have to trust him at least a little bit. For right now, we just need to wait. I don't really have enough information to help you escape from here. If I am able to escape, what will happen to you? Before he can answer my question, we hear the sound of the door being unlocked and then opened. Ah, I see you've gotten the slut to eat. Patrick has a slight smirk on his face as he strolls into the room. The mystery man's face goes from being kind to being completely stony. All of his emotions are hidden, and he looks scary. I gulp before going back to eating my food slowly. So what did you have to do to get her to eat? I threatened to kill her parents right in front of her. The lies come out of his mouth smoothly, and I almost sigh in relief. I need to have a nickname for him since I don't know his actual name. I quickly scan his face before coming up with something simple. Brown eyes. His eyes hold so many emotions, and it's actually quite fascinating. Why didn't I think of that? No one answers Patrick's rhetorical question, and he just shrugs it off. Did you need me, Alpha? Yes, I have some important business that I need you to take care of for me. Both men exit the room, and I let out a breath that I didn't know I was holding. Patrick seriously gives me the creeps. It's hard to believe that he's related to Ryder. Ryder. My sweet, funny, loving mate. I miss him so much. I miss everyone else too, but I miss him the most. I know that I have to try and get out of here for his sake. I'm going to have to get my strength up before I try to do anything. Hopefully, Brown Eyes is really on my side. It's time to get up. I don't have time to react before I feel myself being pulled up by my hair. My eyes shoot open and tears form in them from the pain. I see Zach's smirking face and I bite my lip so a whimper doesn't escape. Aren't you happy to see me? That's no way to treat your mate. Give me a proper greeting. Zach has a mocking smile on his face and I have to look away so I don't try to reach out and strangle him. I need to be patient. Zach starts dragging me along the floor while whistling. What is wrong with him? Where are we going? Zach looks shocked by my question before he shakes his head slightly. That's not the greeting I want. I'm slightly confused by what he means until he starts moving his face closer to mine. His eyes are dark and evil, and I can feel my vision becoming blurry because of my tears. Oh no. Please no. I start struggling, but he just yanks on my hair, causing my head to snap back. I scream out in pain at the feeling. It feels like my head was just ripped off my body. The smirk on Zach's face widens, and I cringe away from him. I can't really move anymore, and tears pour out of my eyes at the pain. My neck hasn't started healing yet, and I honestly think I might die. Honey, don't try to act like you don't want it. It's just a simple kiss. I'll let you off the hook this time, but next time I won't be so lenient. Tears well up in my eyes, but I try to stop them from falling. I've already let out a few tears. I don't want him to see anymore. Patrick chooses that moment to come into the room. He looks quite annoyed when he sees Zach. What's taking so long? We have to get going. We don't have time for your games, he growls. Zach just rolls his eyes before starting to walk again while pulling me along. Well, it looks like someone's not a morning person. Patrick growls at Zach before clenching his jaw. We need to leave now. All right, we'll be there soon. Don't worry. Patrick storms out of the room and slams the door closed. Zach looks at me with a sarcastic smile. Come on, it's time to go. His Majesty is waiting. That's the last thing I hear before my eyes close on their own accord and darkness takes over. Ryder's POV. I pace back and forth in my office while running my hand through my hair. Elizabeth has been missing for over a week, and I'm so close to losing my mind. The The only thing that's keeping me sane is the satisfaction I know I'm going to feel when I kill Zach and anyone else who's been helping him. As soon as I find him, he's a dead man. I won't make his death simple either. I will make sure that he's tortured and punished for what he's done. It's a universal thing in the werewolf world to know that you're not supposed to take someone else's mate. The fact that he took my mate makes things even worse. Having me as an enemy is something you don't want. My pack didn't get its reputation from being nice. There's a reason why we are the most feared pack in the world. We take care of each other, and if you mess with one of us, you're messing with all of us. I stop my pacing for a moment to look at the picture of Elizabeth and I that I have on my desk. In the picture, I'm giving Elizabeth a piggyback ride. We both have huge smiles on our faces, and we were completely unaware that Emily had taken this picture. My chest aches at the sight of this picture, and I slowly run my finger over her face. I miss her so much. I wish that she was here with me. I quickly put the picture down before I get emotional. I'm supposed to be the strongest alpha in the world. I need to keep myself together for my pack and my mate. Thankfully, I'm pulled out of my thoughts by a knock on the door. I open the door and come face to face with my beta. Alpha, we found something that we think might be very important to helping us find the Luna. I look at my beta's face, and once again I thank the moon goddess for him. Chris and him have really helped me over this last week with everything. One of them will be helping me with pack stuff, while the other is leading some of our top scouts out to try to find clues about where my mate is. What is it? I go and stand next to him waiting for his answer. We were able to trace Zach down to this abandoned warehouse. Then what are we doing here? We should be out getting my mate. But he left about a day ago. We were able to faintly pick up his and Luna's scent. Where is he now? We're not sure, but we were able to intercept this letter. I think it was left there for someone else, but we got there before them. All right, let me see the letter. Brian nods before pulling out a folded piece of paper. No one has read it yet since we thought you would want to be the first person. I slowly unfold the letter and start to read it. Elizabeth's POV. When I open my eyes, I notice that I'm in the middle of what looks like a field of flowers. I frown slightly while looking around. Where am I? How did I get here? I look for signs of anyone else, but I don't see anyone. Hello? My voice carries through the field, but I'm met with silence. Is anyone there? Hello? My frown deepens as I start walking in a random direction. Maybe someone's here, but they can't hear me. As I walk, I take time to admire the flowers. I see different assortments of flowers, and I can't help but smile. All the smells blend together to make a magnificent scent. I inhale deeply and feel myself relax slightly. The more time that I spend here, the more I relax. It's so calm and peaceful here. Maybe I could just stay here forever. I quickly shake that thought out of my head. People are waiting for me. I need to get out of here, and then I need to think of a way to escape Zach and Patrick. I'm not sure which one will be harder to accomplish, but I have to try. I don't know how long I've been walking, but I'm starting to get really tired. I'm also really hungry. I really need to find a way out of here. Hello? Can anyone hear me? I can hear you. I let out a happy shriek before starting to turn to face the person who answered me. Finally, someone else is here. You could have responded earlier, but I guess better late than never. Anyways, I need a way out of. When I finally face the woman, my jaw drops and I just stare. Moon goddess, what are you doing here? I'm sorry for my snappy attitude before. I didn't mean it. My voice becomes frantic at the end, and she lets out a chuckle. It's all right, child. I understand. So, what am I doing here? What is this place? This is where I live. You're here because I need to talk to you, she answers with a simple shrug. I'm sure my jaw is hanging on the ground at this point, but I'm too shocked to even care. When I finally regain control over my actions, I clear my throat before standing a little taller. I don't want to look weak in front of her. You need to talk to me? May I ask why? Of course you can ask why. This is something that is about you, so of course you can ask. The friendly smile on her face eases some of my nerves, and I let out a steadying breath. All right, so what's up? I wonder out loud with an awkward smile. I want to talk to you about everything that's happened, she states with a concerned frown on her face. Oh, right. My heartbeat increases, but I try to stay calm. What's troubling you, child? What's the main thing that you're worried about? I'm worried about basically everything that's been going on. I don't know if I'm strong enough to face this situation, I murmur quietly, feeling embarrassed to be admitting this. Why do you feel that way? I don't know what to do. I'm not strong enough to be able to take on Patrick and Zach at the same time. Child, you have great powers, she says with a chuckle. I let out a snort and roll my eyes. With all due respect, are you sure you know who you're talking to? If I have great powers, then I wouldn't be in this situation. She shakes her head slightly with an amused smile. Well, I'm glad she thinks this is funny. I know exactly who you are. Are you forgetting who I am? I pale slightly and shake my head. Of course not. I'm just a little confused. I meant what I said before. You have a great amount of powers. The reason why you haven't been able to use them is because you lack courage. You're a very timid person, and you don't trust in yourself. All you need is a little more confidence, and you'll be fine. Well, it's not really my fault that I'm not that confident. The only friend I had growing up was my brother, I grumble forcefully. I don't mean to sound so disrespectful, but I just want to know why she never helped me. I know. I've seen the hardships that you've gone through, but there wasn't much that I could do. If anything changed, you wouldn't have been able to get a second chance at happiness. You wouldn't be the kind-hearted person that you are. Why couldn't the first time be happy for me? I question quietly. That was the original plan, but as you can see, things didn't turn out that way. Don't you know what's going to happen? Why did you let that happen to me? No, child. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I make all of you, and I give everyone a pure heart, but people can always stray and become something completely different. Everything is ultimately up to the person. Everyone starts off good, but some people change because of greed and jealousy. Your life wasn't supposed to be the way it was. One person's actions changed your entire life. Do you think I would have been happier if the person had not made that decision that altered everything? I ask the question, but I already know the answer. I'm definitely happier now. I'm so thankful for Ryder, Emily, Jake, and everyone else in the Blood Falls pack. There's no way that I would have been happier before. I know that you already know the answer to that, she says with a knowing smile. I nod my head at her. So what happens now? I ask after a few moments of silence. You need to learn to unlock your powers. You've been suppressing them all your life. How do I unlock them? You need to believe in yourself. I can't help the laugh that escapes my mouth. I try to go back to a serious face, but it doesn't work. I'm sorry, I say as another giggle escapes. The moon goddess just looks at me with an amused smile, and I feel the anger that I had before being replaced with happiness. If my childhood had been different, I wouldn't have experienced certain things, and I wouldn't be who I am today. It's all right. I understand how cliché that sounded. I'm serious, though. Your powers will come to you when you listen to your instincts and your wolf. I frown slightly at that last part. I can't contact my wolf because of something Patrick has done. Ah, yes, I almost forgot about that. I can't exactly help you get your wolf back. Just remember one thing. You're not a full werewolf. You are part vampire. As she said that, she starts taking a few steps away from me. My face scrunches up in confusion, and I try to walk towards her. Wait, where are you going? It's time for you to wake up now. You have an important job to do today. I still have some things that I want to ask you. Ryder and the rest of your loved ones are okay. They're very worried about you, so you need to wake up now. Before I can say anything else, I feel my eyes closing on their own accord. Be strong and courageous, young one, is the last thing I heard before I lose consciousness. I gasp awake and look at my surroundings. I'm in a car, and I'm wedged in between Brown Eyes and Zach. Zach rolls his eyes when he sees that I'm awake, and Brown Eyes glances at me with worry in his eyes. The rest of his face is completely blank, but his eyes tell everything. Are you okay? I gasp in shock and look around the car with wide eyes. Where did that voice come from? I still can't feel Annabelle, so it's not like I'm using a mind link. Maybe I'm just going crazy. It's me, Luna. I look over at Brown Eyes with a surprised look. How can I hear you in my head? Perks of being a vampire. What do you mean? Aren't you a werewolf? I'm a hybrid, just like you. I look at Brown Eyes like he's crazy. Are you serious? He nods his head slightly, and I try to wrap my mind around that fact. How does he even know that I'm a hybrid? Does anyone know about us being hybrids? He shakes his head, and I feel a little relieved. So vampires have a mind link too? I ask. Kind of. It's similar to it, but different at the same time. How did you know that I was a hybrid? It's just like how werewolves can sense other werewolves. Vampires can do the same with other vampires. How come I couldn't sense you then? Because you don't really know that much about vampires. I can tell that you are not in touch with your inner vampire. My inner vampire? What is that? How do I get in touch with it? You have to accept it. Right now you are rejecting that part of you. I'm not sure how to do that. Don't worry, I'll train you once we get to the place. Do you know where we're going? Not exactly. I know the general area, but not the specifics. Do you think they'll let you train me? Absolutely not. That's why we're not going to tell them. I frown slightly. Then how are we going to do this? Don't worry, I have a plan. Before I can say anything else, I feel someone pulling my arm. It's time to go, Zach says in a fake, cheerful voice. I look over and see that Brown Eyes is talking to Patrick. Patrick looks over in my direction and gives me a bone-chilling smirk. I gulp before turning away. I look around me as Zach continues to drag me along a dirt path. It's pretty dark outside, but I can still see perfectly thanks to my enhanced vision. I try to see if I can recognize anything, but everything is unfamiliar. I pout slightly before replaying the different conversation that I had today. I spoke to the moon goddess earlier. I actually met her and she was so awesome and nice. I had always been a little mad at her for not helping me, but after my conversation with her, I knew that anger was misplaced. I shouldn't be mad at her, since it's not her fault. Also, she was able to give me another shot at happiness. I'll be forever grateful for that. Then there was the conversation that I had with Brown Eyes. I didn't know that he was a hybrid too. I now know for a fact that he's really on my side. He even called me Luna, and rogues don't do that. That was a sign of his respect. Hopefully, he'll be able to help me unlock my powers. Maybe if I accept my vampire, I'll be able to use them. Patrick and Brown Eyes start walking behind Zach and I. So where's this place that you were talking about? I hope it's better than the last place, Patrick says with disgust. Zach just rolls his eyes. You need to learn your place, pup. I don't have to help you at all. You and your men can go back to where you came from, Zach declares with a smug smile. Patrick grumbles something that I don't catch before becoming silent. We walk for a few minutes before we get to an abandoned warehouse. What's up with Zach and old warehouses? I hear Patrick groan in frustration, which causes Zach to smirk again. Aw, is little Patrick getting angry? I stare at Zach with wide eyes. I don't know why he's always trying to pick fights with people who are clearly stronger than him. No, this place is just perfect, Patrick answers sarcastically. Once we get inside, I almost puke. The smell in here is awful. My nose scrunches up in revulsion. I see everyone else but Zach doing the same thing. This guy seriously has some issues. It doesn't take long before some of his men take me to my new holding place. I see Brown Eyes give me a nod before discreetly tapping his forehead. If you need me, you can always reach out to me. I give him a brief, grateful smile before I'm dragged away. I'm shoved in a room that looks similar to the last room I was in. It smells even worse in this room than the outside area, and I wonder how long I'm going to have to stay here. There's nothing on the walls except mold, and there are no windows. I sigh before sitting down on the twin-sized bed that's in the room. I frown slightly when I feel how stiff the mattress is. I also notice that I don't have a pillow. I would use the blankets on the bed, but they smell bad and have questionable stains on them. I quickly take the sheets off the bed and put them on the ground. It's a good thing that my body temperature is higher than a normal human's body temperature. I sit on the bed for a few minutes, staring blankly at the wall across from me. I hear an annoying dripping sound, and it's starting to get on my nerves. I stand up and start walking around the room. I'm about to head back to the bed before I feel a drop on the top of my head. I frown before taking a step to the side and then looking up at the ceiling. That part of the ceiling looks like it's caving in and that it might fall in soon. At least the bed's not under that portion. I take the blankets that I put near the bed and put them under the leaking part of the ceiling. I sigh happily when the dripping stops. I don't know how long I was waiting before I heard footsteps heading towards me. I cross my fingers, hoping it's brown eyes. The door unlocks and I hold my breath. When I see his face, I let out a sigh of relief. He opens the door before stepping in and then closing it. He hands me some food that I take from his hands quickly. I'm so hungry. Everyone should be asleep soon. I'll be back in about 30 minutes, he says before leaving the room and closing the door. When he finally comes back for me, I'm shaking in anticipation. I'm so nervous about this little training session. What if I can't do this? What if I mess up really badly and he doesn't want to help me anymore? He unlocks the door and lets me step out of the room before closing it shut tightly. He locks up the door again before placing the keys back into his pocket. He puts something in my hands and I feel confused before I notice the clean clothes. I've been wearing the same outfit for the last week or so, and it's getting really uncomfortable. We stop at a bathroom that's right across the hall, and I change as quickly as I can. Are you sure that they won't catch us? I inquire in our link as I leave the bathroom. I'm positive. I slipped something in all of their drinks and foods, so they won't be waking up for a while. Also, I'm the only one that has the keys to your room. No one will be able to check to see if you're in there. Don't worry so much. I exhale lightly and nod my head before I remember something. What about the people that Zach has on patrol? Most of them are sleeping, but there are a few of them who take their job seriously, so we'll just have to watch out for them. You don't have to be afraid, though. If something happens, I will protect you. I feel so much better now, even though I know there is a slight chance that we could be caught. I have no doubt that brown eyes would be able to keep me safe. All right, let's go. We quietly walk through the house before leaving through the front door. I follow Brown Eyes through the woods for a few minutes. Once we get to a certain spot, he stops walking. All right, I think this is far enough. They won't hear us from over here if they happen to wake up. I also made sure to pick a place where the guards are usually sleeping. Okay, I say while putting my hair in a ponytail. After that, I shift nervously on my feet. We'll start off with some simple breathing techniques. I nod my head before I realize something. Wait, can I at least know your name? I've been calling you Brown Eyes in my head, but I think your real name would be better. An amused smile makes its way on his lips, and he chuckles slightly. My name is Carter. Really? I thought your name would be something more intimidating. He laughs again. Intimidating? Did you think my name would be Monster or something? He asks in between laughs. I just shrug with a sheepish smile which causes him to shake his head. His face suddenly becomes serious, and I know that it's time to get to work. Are you ready to learn? He questions as he takes his shirt off. Let's do this, I answer with a firm nod. Writer's POV. I pace my office and run a hand through my hair. I exhale loudly and try to clear my foggy brain. I'm not sure who or what I can believe in right now. The words of the letter have been replaying in my head ever since I've read them. I've memorized it from the amount of times I've read it. Writer, you've got to help me. I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. The people seem to have some sort of control over me. No matter how hard I try, I can't break this spell that they have on me. I only have a few moments of clarity once in a while. I'm trying to write this letter quickly while I still have time. I need you to know the truth of what happened that night all those years ago. I thought I had died that day, but apparently I didn't. The rogues, they captured me and they've been experimenting on me. They've been trying to find out information about you and your pack, but thankfully, they haven't been successful. I've locked all my past memories up, and they can't reach them. Those same rogues are working with Zach. They've kidnapped your mate, too. I don't know what's going on since I can never remember what I've done while they're controlling me. I'm sorry if I've had a part in her kidnapping. You've got to understand that I would never do anything to hurt you. You've got to find me and break this curse. I don't want to be like this anymore. I'm tired of being their servant. I don't want to hurt innocent people. If you want to find us, I was able to overhear Zach saying that we were heading to Lebanon, Kansas. Please hurry. You need to get to your mate before something bad happens to her. Patrick. I grumble slightly under my breath before I lay down on the couch in my office. Ever since Elizabeth was taken, I've avoided that room. Every time I go near it, my chest aches and I feel a wave of sadness pass over me. I need to find my mate soon before I go completely insane. As I lay on the couch, my mind drifts back to the letter. I don't know what I should do. I want to believe my uncle, but I know that he is obviously working with Zach. If I hadn't heard that phone call earlier, I might have believed him, but now it would be stupid of me to believe that he's completely innocent. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, none of this makes sense. I'm pretty sure his letter was supposed to make him sound innocent, but it didn't. It sounded like something that he heard in a really bad action movie, and then he decided to write it on a piece of paper. How would he have random moments of clarity? He said that he couldn't remember anything that happened during the times that he was under their influence, but then he said that he knows what's been happening to him. Also, the people would keep a close eye on him if that was the truth. They wouldn't want him contacting anyone and telling other people about them. Also, how would he know where they are going? He claimed that overheard it, but that's a lie. He wouldn't have remembered it if he actually heard it. Also, he said that he didn't know where he was or where he was going. I don't know who he's trying to fool, but it's not really working. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. If he wants to sound believable, he should have at least kept his story straight. I can't believe I didn't see the truth earlier. It was right in front of me, but I couldn't concentrate. How could he work with people who are trying to hurt my mate? Has he lost his mind? I hope he realizes that he's not going to get away with this. I can't wait till the next time I see him. He will die a very slow and painful death. I should probably get some sleep since I have an early morning. I had Chris do some investigating, and he was able to find some information about Zach that will help us trace him. I know that he's going to be on the move soon, so we have to make sure that we get to his next destination before him. We'll meet him and his group there, and I'll kill everyone who had a part in taking Elizabeth away from me. I lay my head down on the armrest and close my eyes. I move around a bit to try and get comfortable, but I stop when I realize that's not going to happen. I won't be able to sleep properly until I get my mate back. I take in a deep breath and remind myself that I'll be with her soon. I feel my eyes closing, and I welcome sleep. Elizabeth's POV. Again, I take a deep breath and try to pin Carter to the ground for the 10th time tonight. He easily dodges my attack, and I let out a groan of frustration. I don't want to do this anymore. I've tried every single day for the past 5 days, and nothing has happened. I'm sick of this training. I give Carter a glare before I try to walk away. I only make it a few steps before I feel a gentle hand grab my wrist. Liz, you need to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not good at fighting. I'm weak, and I can't do it. The hand on my wrist tightens to the point where it's almost painful, and I let out a quiet gasp. Don't say that, Carter growls at me. He looks as frustrated as I am. Why not? It's the truth. He opens his mouth to say something before he stops. He stares at me for a few moments before a smirk makes its way onto his face. The atmosphere around the two of us changes dramatically. My face scrunches up in confusion, and I'm immediately on guard. You know what? You're right. You are pretty weak. My eyes narrow slightly at him. He has an arrogant smirk on his face, and I let out a puff of air. Is that supposed to make me feel better? No, I'm just telling the truth. I'm sick and tired of listening to you complain. I don't even know why I bothered to act like I actually liked you. I can't help but feel slightly hurt by what he just said. He was only pretending? This entire time, he didn't even like me. Whatever, I don't need him. Fine then, you don't have to pretend anymore. A dark look creeps onto his face, and I swallow nervously. I try to take a step back, but then I remember that he's still holding my wrist. Good. Before I can even react, I'm on the ground laying on my stomach. My wrists are wrapped behind my back, and my legs are being held down by one of his legs. I squirm around, trying to get free, but he just holds on even tighter. He lets out an evil laugh, and I start getting a little scared. I shouldn't have trusted him. I should have just ignored him when he said he was trying to help me. This is what I get for being so naive. You're honestly so pathetic. I was hoping that I would at least have more of a challenge, but whatever. I'm still going to have fun killing you. I try to free one of my arms or legs, but I can't get out of his hold. Suddenly, a cool piece of metal is placed on my neck. I stop moving around and stare at the knife in shock. I wouldn't move around so much if I were you. You might cut yourself. The teasing tone in Carter's voice makes my blood boil, and I wish that I could actually do something. Ah, poor little helpless Elizabeth. You have such soft skin. Did you know that? He questions as he runs a hand down my left arm. I try to use that moment to free one of my hands, but he has both of them wrapped in one of his. I growl and try to think of a way out of this. I can't seem to think of anything because my mind is clouded with hurt. I trusted him, and he was just lying to me. He never wanted to help me. I was so stupid to trust him. This entire week, he's been so nice and patient with me while I try to improve my fighting and learn how to use my powers. I can't believe that I didn't notice what his real intentions were. It's a shame that I have to cut this perfect skin. Get your hands off me, I growl while trying to sound intimidating. Carter just lets out a dark chuckle. You're not really in the position to be making demands. I'm the one that's in control. It would be best if you remembered that. Why are you doing this? I make my voice as emotionless as possible when I ask this question. I don't want him to know his betrayal hurt me. You thought that I would actually help someone like you? I was just seeing if you would actually be a threat, but you're obviously not. My cheeks start to turn a bright red from my anger. He's so dead once I get out of his grasp. I feel so bad for Ryder, though. He really got the short end of the stick. I don't know how he put up with you for so long. What's that supposed to mean? What are you talking about? I hate to be the one to tell you the truth, but I'm going to do it anyways. What truth? He's silent for a few minutes before I hear him let out a dramatic sigh. I can almost see him shaking his head back and forth in disappointment. I can't believe the moon goddess would pair you up with someone like Ryder. If you ask me, he didn't deserve you as a burden. He was having a great life, and then you messed everything up. Did you know that he's not even looking for you right now? He was the one that let us into his pack. Obviously, he had to make it believable, so he didn't tell anyone of his plan. I was actually surprised by his amazing acting skills. You actually thought that he cared for you. My heart aches in my chest, but I try to ignore his words. I shake my head and try to get away from him. I don't want to listen to his lies anymore. I bet you didn't know that he was the one that set all of this up. He was getting tired of pretending to like you, so he had all of this planned. He would have killed you himself, but he didn't want your blood to be on his hand. Tears start falling down my cheeks and I whimper slightly. Ryder was just faking everything? No, that can't be the truth. I know that he would never hurt me. You're lying to me, I manage to whisper through my tears. My fist clench and my body tenses. Ryder would never do that to me. He lets out a snort before pressing my face into the ground. I'm not lying, though. His uncle never died. His uncle was just living in another pack. Ryder is paying Zach a good amount, so you could be taken away. Zach said that the only reason he would help Ryder was because he missed having you as a slave. I try to stop my tears, but they just keep pouring down my face. I keep trying to convince myself that this is all a lie, but I don't know anymore. My sadness starts to be replaced with rage, and I start shaking slightly. You're completely useless. No one would ever love you. I don't even know why you decided to keep living all this time. I guess some people just can't take a hint. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to do the job you failed to do. The knife presses more into my skin, and I let out a shaky breath. I feel bad for all those people who had to act like they actually liked you. I've only known you for how long? A little more than 2 weeks, and I could barely handle it. I'm sure everyone will be happier when you're gone. These are words that I've heard many times in the past, especially from Zach, and I already know what's going to happen. The abuse. I sit there lamely with my jaw clenched and my eyes closed. Wow, you're already giving up? I expected more from you, but I guess I should have known. You've never fought for anything in your life. You've just let things happen to you. So weak. Those words strike a nerve in me, and I can feel my body tensing again. That seems to be the reaction he wanted, though, which only serves to further anger me. What am I doing? I promised myself that I would be strong and that I would start fighting back, and I'm over here, cowering like a little baby. Maybe I really don't deserve Ryder. He would be better off with someone stronger and wiser. More rage starts pumping through my system, and I mentally scold myself and think of all the negatives of my life and situation. What's wrong? Are you upset now? Did I hit another nerve? Aw, you poor baby. The mocking tone of his voice makes me scowl at the ground below me. I feel something in me start stirring and awakening, and I can barely contain my fury. Enough! With that one word, Carter goes flying across the field and hits his back against one of the trees. He stops talking and just stares at me with wide eyes. I can feel my anger start to grow as I take a few steps in his direction. You are a traitor and a deceiver. You will pay for what you've done to me. My voice sounds foreign to my own ears, and I'm shocked that I was able to say that with so much authority. The voice sounds like mine, but it's mixed with another voice. With every step that I take, I feel more and more power flowing through my veins. For once, I actually feel powerful, almost like I can do anything. Carter's face turns a very pale color, and I smirk slightly. It feels good to finally have the upper hand. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with you yet. Should I kill you, or should I torture you first? I don't know what's making me so violent all of a sudden, but I can't seem to control my emotions or actions anymore. It feels like another part of me has taken over. It almost feels like if my wolf had taken over, but I know that's not the case. This feels different, yet similar. I watch as my body continues to pace in front of Carter,